We welcome you back to the Cardboard Cup Series for race 2 out of 12 at Daytona here for the Walk2Share 300. And Daytona is infamous for the amount of races where underdogs have a great shot at winning. Maybe they can make something happen today. And before we go racing, let's take a look at some pre-race stats. Track length is of course 2.5 miles at Daytona. The precipitation chances for today are only at 9%, and there will be 7 laps ran here today. And a few drivers to look out for today. 1, Matt Dibenedetto, setting his first pole for the Wood brothers here today at Daytona. Will he be able to make something happen? We'll find out. And of course, Dillon, last race, had a flat tire on the second lap, took him out of contention all day, finished last. He's looking for redemption today. He starts 7th. And of course, we have to talk about Alex Bowman, Jimmie Johnson, Ryan Newman, and Kyle Larson all going to the back of the field because of their practice session crashes. They had to go to backup cars after that incident. And now it's time to go through the field. First row, Matt Dibenedetto next to Clint Bowyer. Second row, Brad Keselowski next to Kyle Busch. Third row, William Byron next to Aric Almirola. In the fourth row, we have Dillon next to Ryan Blaney. In the fifth row, we have Corey Lajoie scoring a top 10 qualifying position next to Erik Jones. Sixth row, Michael McDowell next to Cody Ware. Seventh row, we have Yeley next to Theriault. Eighth row, Joey Gase next to McLeod. Ninth row, we have Garrett Smithley next to Chastain. And in the final 2 rows, we find Alex Bowman next to Jimmie Johnson and Ryan Newman next to Kyle Larson. As the field makes it out of turn 4, the green flag is out and waving at Daytona for the Walk2Share 300. Matt Dibenedetto leading the field down through turns 1 and 2 with Brad Keselowski in hot pursuit. And these guys who started in the last 2 rows really have their work cut out for them as they start all the way in the back as it's already 3 wide up there. Wow, Matt Dibenedetto getting squeezed in the middle as Dillon and Corey Lajoie find themselves running 1-2 on the bottom line. Unfortunately for Matt Dibenedetto and Brad Keselowski, they're really stuck in the middle right now. They need some help, but there's not any until they reach William Byron back there. Dillon really looking for some redemption today as he finished dead last on the first race of the season, but here comes Corey Lajoie on the high side, help from Erik Jones. After 5th place, it's 3 wide on back, but currently leading down the backstretch, Corey Lajoie, help from Erik Jones. What an interesting story it would be if Corey Lajoie could make something happen here today, as he will lead a lap, getting that one crucial point for leading a lap, but there's trouble on the front stretch. Huge trouble, 1 car upside down, Erik Jones involved. Dillon, Jimmie Johnson, what happened? Garrett Smithley is the car that's upside down. Red flag immediately. Wow, that is a huge wreck. Let's try to see what happened, what just took place, as Dillon, yep, there we go. Just a slight tap from Garrett Smithley. Man, straight into Erik Jones, nowhere he could go. And Garrett Smithley also getting tapped from Jimmie Johnson. This is where it gets ugly. Here comes Garrett Smithley into the wall hard, and it just flips over. Man, hope he's okay. And this will change everything in the point standings. Jimmie Johnson, Erik Jones, Dillon even are trying to go for the championship. And their days are done this early, lap number 3. And we're ready to take a green-white checkered situation here today at Daytona. Green flag back out in the air. Corey Lajoie leading Yeley of all people on the inside line. Michael McDowell trying to get the high side working here as he's got to run. Corey Lajoie blocking high and low. And it's 3 wide deep in the field. Corey Lajoie coming off of turn 4. He'll take the white flag. Now Corey Lajoie needs to block both lanes as he's coming down to turn 1, but Yeley was already there and he tried to come down. Here comes Michael McDowell on the outside. As now it's just a race between the top 2. Who's gonna win it? Out of turn number 4, and it's gonna be somebody at the line. I don't know who won that race. Either way, one of those 2 have been locked into the playoffs, and it's Yeley who has won this race. A major congratulations to Yeley for winning the Walk2Share 300. Now let's take a look at the rest of the field. Michael McDowell was oh so close to winning this race, was just shy out at the end, but an amazing effort for him. A real quiet race for Kyle Larson, but he came back at the end. He started on the last row, let me remind you. Joey Gase recording a top 5 finish, a very good points day for him. And Ryan Newman, keeping up his consistency, he's gotten 5th in every race this season so far. Not a bad effort for BJ McLeod, especially considering he crashed out the first race. A nice effort from Kyle Busch. Even though he doesn't need any more points, he's already in the playoffs with his last week's win, but regardless, good effort by him. What a bittersweet ending for this race for Corey Lajoie. He led almost all of this race, but came up shy at the end, trying to block off JJ Yeley. But great effort from him. Alex Bowman kind of laid low this race, wasn't really a big contender for the win. However, he did start in one of the last rows of the field, so I got to give it to him. That's a pretty good effort. And Ross Chastain coming out of nowhere from the back on the last lap to get a top 10. What a good race for him. Unfortunately for Matt Dibenedetto, the race did not end like it started. Although he started on the pole, he kind of got squeezed in the middle, sandwiched, if you say, and couldn't really recover from it. Stayed in the mid-pack for the rest of the race. Ryan Blaney, just an average race overall, nothing special. Same thing with Clint Bowyer. He kind of fell to the back and didn't really recover until the last half lap. In fact, most of these mid-pack cars actually fell to the back and didn't really recover. Same story with William Byron, couldn't recover. Aric Almirola really needed a good finish today, did not get it. This will hurt his point situation. Cody Ware finishes 17th. Austin Theriault in the next spot, 18th. Erik Jones, one of the first big shockers here. Erik Jones really needed a good finish. He was in contention for the playoffs. However, he has dropped tremendously in points. He needs to step it up next race. And so far the season has just been a nightmare for Austin Dillon. He currently only has 5 points. Yeah, he needs a miracle next race to get him into playoffs. And Garrett Smithley, man, he had a race going. He was in the top 5, and unfortunately, just wrong place, wrong time, had too much of a run. Jimmie Johnson tried to get around him and just ended up spinning him into the wall hard. He is okay. He walked away from the wreck, but man, disappointing day for Garrett Smithley. And rounding out the field is Jimmie Johnson. Again, same wreck as Garrett Smithley, just turned him into the wall. Unfortunate timing for that wreck and just wrong place, wrong time completely. And after the second race of the season, this is how the points are shaking out to be. As you can see, Kyle Larson and Ryan Newman, their consistency is being paid, whilst Jimmie Johnson has fallen 8 spots since the first race. Yikes. He needs to step it up. But anyways, guys, that just about does it for the second race of the Cardboard Cup Series, the Walk2Share 300 from Daytona. Thank you all for watching this broadcast of the Cardboard Cup Series.